Good evening, everybody. Matrix here, and here's my watch list for December 31st. Okay, so it's 1:30 right now. I've been racking my brain for over an hour and a half now, looking at the chart, thinking in deep thought, and it's tough. I mean, it's gonna be a tough call tomorrow. Okay, so finally, I decided to pick some sort of direction for myself tomorrow. And before I start, I want to state that tomorrow I won't be trading. Okay, because I have to go to work early. I have to go to my regular job early tomorrow, so I will miss the market day. However, I do want to put out my watch list and my insight for the market open. Simply because I want to keep a good habit of always making a trade plan and then coming back to look at whether I'm good on that plan or not. That in itself will build confidence as well as a good habit to keep as a professional day trader. Okay. With that said, I'm looking at the SPY and the futures right now, right? And we have a slight gap up, a very slight gap up, and it's slowly grinding. Let's go to the 1 day here. It's grinding very slowly. Now, as I mentioned before I start the video, I was racking my brain and I was thinking about a thesis on whether the stock or the market in itself will pop or drop, right? And to be quite honest, I have come to the conclusion that because for the past few weeks we have been entered into a bear market, and I am an overall cynic. Uh, I do think the big money will want to sell into any kind of pops. Okay. With that said, the big problem for me is finding where to short or how far it's going to pop. To me, in itself, the market overall looks like a trap. All right. The bounce for the past couple of days since Boxing Day up until now, to me, that in itself is a trap. Trapping people into believing that it's the market has bottomed out and we are going to reverse. But in my opinion, I think it's basically just a trap set for these dip buyers to get the stock back up. That way, the smart money can hammer it back down, get some liquidity, right? With that said, we do have a trend line form, a very short-term trend line, uptrend line, right? As you can see, and the trend line will test. Eventually, I'm looking for it to test tomorrow, and it really depends on how this trend line holds. Um, as you can see on my futures chart here, I've marked off a resistance line at 25.18. What this is basically the opening price of December 20th, 7 a.m. Okay, the highs. And as you can see, this resistance mark played very well. I will let you know why I marked this off. December 20th marks the day of the Fed's hiking rates. Okay, that's the day, the last time they said they came out with the catalyst, oh, we're hiking rates. And that's when the stock market started tanking huge. That's when we saw major volume. With that said, I think tomorrow we are going to, since we are gapping up, I think this thing's going to grind up a little bit while I sleep. And at the open, it's going to test here and then fail right back down. Come back to test this trend line. And from here, if this snaps, we're going straight down to 2400. If it holds, then we should have a chop day and we should be chopping in this range. With that said, let's take a look at the markets. Okay, as you can see, I have the short-term trend marked out. I have some few lines marked out as well. This this 251.55 area, this is the highs of when the Feds announced a rate hike. And as you can see, we have major sell-off volume here. That's the highs. That's where the smart money starts selling. All right. This to me is a significant inflection point. I will be watching this area like a hawk. And as you can see on Friday, this is where we tested as well. Now that we're gapping up a little bit on the futures, I think tomorrow we open a little bit higher, and then we will try to test it again before it come back down. Now, to me, when people ask if the market has bottomed out, I mean, let's take the guessing work out of it. How do you define actually a bottoming out? Like, how do you identify a reversal, right? Yes, we see a big bounce and we see a test, and we see this 240 mark off as a support. Personally, I want to see a confirmation. If it comes down and holds this trend line and rips again, that in itself could be a confirmation. But a better confirmation, in my opinion, would to see it come back down to 240 and test one more time, hit this double bottom or triple bottom at the 240, and then rip back up. That to me in itself is a true mark and testing of a real bottom. I mean, as you can see here, if I mark this shaded area off, this is where the bottom is, right? Now, this bottom has yet to confirm. So it needs to come back down and confirm, in my opinion. And because of my bear bias or short bias, I think tomorrow we will hit this 251 and fail. So this 251 is very key. 251.50 was very, very key to watch. As the market rips up, if it breaks above and starts holding, this is a major inflection point, then we could rip. And the next target you should be looking for is 255, which is key psychological whole number. 255, 255.30s, as you can see it tested right here in these areas, right? The 255 in itself, this is the next resistance mark, okay? And finally, we have the long target of 260, 260.36 or 260.40s, right? From there, if we break out, then we might be able to hit that 260 before it comes back down again. I'm still going to be looking for it to come back down. The one unknown factor is where or when, right? And I think tomorrow could be a nice day. I mean, if not, test it. Why not? Keep your losses nice and tight, nice and close. And if you're wrong, just get out. That's all we can do as traders. That's all we can do as technical analysis trading. You basically test setups, right? And if it's wrong, you get out. So with that thesis in mind, let's take a look at a few plays that I've picked for tomorrow that I will personally be watching on my phone while I'm at work. Unfortunately, I won't be trading it. Yeah. Oh, even before that, actually, let's get back to the SPY. I'm thinking, okay, if people are thinking the bottom is in, we need a catalyst though. What will make this thing pop? Like, there is no positive catalyst that has came out yet. I mean, I can see negative catalysts. I can see Fed hikes, and I can see tariffs, right? And what's funny is Trump today actually tweeted out something about tariffs, and I want to bring it up on monitor here about his tweet in the afternoon. He's like, I just had a long and very good conversation with presidency of China. Deal is moving along very well. If made, it will be very comprehensive, covering all subjects, areas, points of dispute, big progress being made. I call horseshit on this. I definitely call horseshit on this. Very good call. Very well. Moving along very well. What does that mean, right? It will be very comprehensive. To me, being a cynic, I think Donald Trump is a short seller. He is making these tweets out to get people the dumb money to buy and start buying the dips, right? That way he can sell it back down himself. But that's just me. We saw this type of tweets last time when he says, we're putting the China tariffs on hold 30 days or 90 days or something like that, right? And what happened? Okay, we have an initial pop in the market and then sell off because it's horseshit. That's exactly what I'll be looking for tomorrow. Initial pop in the market and then sell off. Anyways, enough of my rambling. Let's get into some stocks. All right, so I picked a few tickers here tomorrow. tickers that probably fit the criteria of a pop and drop. These tickers have very evident risks and resistance points. First up, we have SQ. Now, SQ, I will also let you guys know, I mean, take a look at the December 20th date, right? Where the major volume come in, okay? Now, SQ, I'm looking for a pop tomorrow at 57 and 58 as well. As you can see, 57 was very pronounced on Friday, and 58 is also a key psychological whole number coming to the daily chart here. Okay, key psychological whole number with a lot of chart resistance. Now we are a little bit under the 9 EMA. It might not even get back up there, right? My first lookout point is the 57. That's the closest to the 9 EMA. The 9 EMA is at 56.50s. Now, if it does reclaim and starts holding this 56.50s, we could get a squeeze, and we could actually get buyers coming in. But I don't think the pop will last. I think it'll get as high as 58, and from then it'll just come down. So that's what I'm looking for. If you take a look at 58 here on the intraday chart, this was prior support, now becomes resistance. We are technical traders, or me, myself, I'm a technical trader, so I trade on technical analysis. When 58 major support snapped, this is going to be the point of resistance I'll be looking to short. Whoever bought in here, all these buyers here, they'll be looking for the 58 as well. And I think they'll take profits at 58 if the stock does get there. So that's SQ. Next up, we have Apple, AAPL. Apple, I'll be looking for the same thesis for the past 3 days. The 158 and 158.50. Okay, 158.50 was absolutely beautiful. As you can see, it basically top ticked it on my call, on my last watch list and the previous watch list. Okay, so this is still the resistance area. Currently, the stock's holding at 156.50, and we are anticipating a little bit of gap up. So at the open, I'm going to look for a little bit more pop and test this area again, and then fail. We are under the 9 EMA, so that's good. Apple is going to be it's going to be a very good watch right here, right? So 158.50s, watch out for that, and hammer it back down. Roku. I like Roku a lot. It's been on my playlist or my watch list for the actually almost an entire week now. What I like about Roku though is this downtrend line right here. Okay, as long as this downtrend line plays and holds, I'm gonna keep it on a daily basis and just watch it and follow it. Right. Let me see if I can mark this out properly, right to the penny. Because a few days ago I called for the 32 and fail. Yeah, I called that. On Friday, it failed some more, right at the key psychological whole number of 31. We are anticipating gap up, so what I want to see is a little pop back up into 31, the tests, and then fail from there. Maybe give it some wiggle room up to the high of Friday, 31.25. My target for this is 29.50s. This is key support area. If 29.50 snaps, then we will continue along on this major downtrend, really depending on how it reacts here at support and how it reacts here at resistance. Looking for pop out the gate since we are gapping up, test and bring it back down. This is target 1. And then if it snaps, then we can bring it all the way back down to 28.50s, 28.75s. Okay, so that's my plan on Roku. Finally, we have NVDA. Again, a very pronounced resistance area and also under the 9 EMA. NVDA is, ever since the negative reaction on the earnings. It's basically been selling off and it's having trouble getting back up. Yes, it's very oversold, but we do see that it had 4 green days in a row. So, excuse me. So I am looking for the next leg down. Now, I want to watch 135, which is key psychological whole number, as well as the high of Friday, 137, 137 and change, right? I'm going to mark that off on the daily chart and see how this 135 plays out. Right there, right? It plays very proper. I mean, if you were to be picky, let me see. The low of this candle, 133.31. Okay, so we're getting very close. Literally right here. So a pop-up, the 9 EMA is at 135 and change. A pop-up into the 135, and I'll start watching for a short signal. It might gap up and over and then run at the open, and then that way I'll watch the highs. As you can see here, on the 20th, major volume, more volume here. I like the highs of 137.5 though. This is the major volume. So this resistance mark to me on the 21st is significant, 137.5. Hence, we saw the double topping action here. I'm still looking for pop and drop, and that's NVDA. That's basically it for my watch list. It's again, I reiterate that it's tough to call. There is not much catalyst, right? The negative catalysts are still intact, right? We still need to remember that we are in the bear market, and basically any big pop, I think the smart money will take advantage of and hammer the market back down. Now, a few days ago, when this pop happened, I already started calling this 251 area, and lo and behold, that's what it did. Now, let's see what it does tomorrow, right? Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow, if not in the afternoon, and have a great evening. Make sure you like and share and subscribe. And on the New Year's Day, I think New Year's Day, I'll be putting out a couple of nice videos. One is, I guess every New Year, one should have a resolution, so I'll talk about that. And overall general review of my year in trading, some lessons I learned, some major key lessons. Secondly, brokers. A lot of newer beginning traders have a hard time picking a broker. And every day I get questions about, hey, what platform should I use? What platform are you using? So I really want to talk about what broker I'm using and what broker I do recommend for newer beginning traders. The reasons why I recommend it, as well as my personal experience with this current broker I'm using right now. The reason why I choose it, and real life experience, the exact turning point of why I choose it. And I'll give you guys a little hint. It has a lot to do with Dries, okay? But anyways, Dries is a ticker back then when Donald Trump was elected. But anyways, I'll keep my mouth shut for now, give you guys just a little teaser, and I'll make those videos on New Year's Day. Have a great evening. Thanks for watching. Ciao.